Good morning, everyone. It is going to be a great day. I proclaim it. I feel like it's going to be a good day, so that usually helps it turn out to be a good day. I have no negativity towards this day yet, so that's a good thing. Hope you all are doing well. Morning, Mr. Ed, Mr. TC, Mr. Fred, Mr. John, Mr. Michael. Hope you peoples are doing great. I saw a few of you pop into Rob's Nerdy Knives last night. Man, into that video was a struggle. Everybody kept sending super chats to delay the countdown from 10, and it was getting kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I saw Fred pop in at the end, as well as Sever 7. Michael was there closer to the end too, I believe. But yeah, man, golly. I was driving to work and I was like, come on, man, just count down. Get the drawing over with. Yeah, I knew that was normal. That's why when Sever left to go do a video, he said, y'all keep him busy for about 30 minutes so he doesn't draw. And I was like, yeah, I knew it was part of the deal after that. But so I picked up on the fact that it was part of the normal routine, but it still doesn't change the fact it drove me nuts. I'm not a normie there, so. But I did pick up on it from what Sever said. That was pretty funny. So, front pocket last night, I had my Evo again. And back pocket, I had my Vespa again, my Ultra Tech. Like I said, oh, I don't know why. I was trying to read the chat. Sorry. I paused for a second. I was also noticing the fact that I had that on here. I forgot that I put that on there. My moon is going to an Eyes Wide Shut party. Got a mask on. That is not true. I would not talk that way about my moon. But, good morning, Mr. Whalen. So yeah, that was cool hanging out, seeing other people talk knives and how they do it. I need to do more of that. Support the community. Need to get out there and socialize. Speaking, let's see. Reddit was messed up earlier. It wasn't loading hardly anything. That was pretty wild for a little while. It gets bogged down pretty often. I mean, they're hosting a lot of information. It's pretty wild to think about how many text threads there are. I did have something that I forgot to talk about yesterday that I wanted to look at. And it has to do with the fact that coming up in a couple of days, we got to sharpen this and do the finishing touches on this. Yeah, Fred, I'm not going to get into I've not been there enough to get a good call on any of his personality traits or way he does his stuff. So I can't really comment on that, but I tell you, wasn't really much knife talking. There was a bunch of kazoos at the last 45 minutes. which is fine and all. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I've not been there enough to like speak on it really. In fact, I picked up on enough to know like he was stickler with some things like his rules and stuff like that, which is fine also. But yeah, so yesterday I had a link that had to do with this and the fact that we're doing, since we're going to be doing a blade out of carbon steel, I wanted to check out the other day when we saw those knives, those, I guess it was Friday, we saw all those knives that makers were making with carbon steels and putting really cool patterns on there. Nothing happened, mister. We were just talking about hanging out last night. All right, Fred. See you later, buddy. But yeah, I wanted to look at finishes on these because, dudes, we saw those really cool patterns on carbon steel. So I had a video yesterday I wanted us to watch, or a post. No, it's a video. And I wanted y'all to look at this, see what you thought about it. I know there's all kinds of ways to do patterning on it, so I just want to look at this particular type of what he's doing here. But he's taking carbon steel and showing you how to oxidize it. So he has a piece of carbon steel, and I was thinking this represents my blade, so if I polished up the blade really good, then he shows the ingredients. Caustic soda, missed the first one. 1 liter of water. So he's taking his polished part, showing what temperature he's dropping it in there. And he rinses it. And he gets an awesome black, super nice looking black layer on the carbon steel. And different patterning, but yeah, you can see it on the knife how nice it looks. So I was thinking, after seeing some of these carbon steel finishes, I was thinking that I might leave this area, I might try to do some patterning on the flats and the back of the handle. That's really the only part that will show. But I might do something with the flats here and polish out, because we're going to have to polish out and sharpen the blade anyway. But I don't know what kind of patterning or patina I want to use. All right, Pete. Thank you, sir. So I'm not sure what kind of patina. Yeah. Or we can do some cool patterns with mustard and stuff and a coffee. We can do lots of cool stuff, and I don't want to rush it and not get something I'm going to like. So since we got I'm going to use the magnifying, the microscope to look at the edge. And before we do it, see how much it curled during the heat treat. And then we'll sharpen it up and start sanding. I know that I want the blade at least sanded, not black. So I can start there. Mr. Pen Sticker. Not sure what that means. Pete said he sent me a interesting knife I can look at on Instagram. I'll go try to find that in a minute. I'm not good at getting to my Instagram on this computer. I use the app on my phone and I don't. I was talking about our resident guy with the nice knives, Mr. John, about somebody said, oh yeah, Scott this weekend asked if I bought all the knives, and I mentioned, no, look, I've got some knives like Mr. John would not be caught dead with. I just want to show y'all what this man got in the mailbox yesterday. And y'all tell me if he's not a blessed gentleman and has some awesome knives. I mean, come on. We've got banger after banger after banger. And now I can see that denim finish. Looks like micro milling with the blue. Looks like denim. Oh, is that who has those mustache stickers, mister? I did not notice that. I did not know that. Sorry. Yeah, and this knife right here might quite possibly be the prettiest knife in existence. That T.W. Price Rain is a beautiful knife. So luckily I happen to own a couple of these. I own those two. I'm wondering what he thinks of the Lek and the chisel grind. Also wondering what he thinks of the Theory. And then last but not least, pulling up the end is the Remet. All right. So yeah, that's a heck of a mailbox day. Congrats on that, John. If you ever sell the Rain, I want it. The Rain is another prime example of a knife that would be so much better without that flipper tab and a nice finger choil right there. Like, why? All of them? Every one of those you don't like? All right, you're getting too picky now, John. What is wrong with the Rain? And what's wrong with the Simeon? That's pretty wild. Give it a thumbs up for getting rid of running through knives like they're used socks. No, I'm just kidding. Like, man knows what he likes. Yeah, I was curious to know what you thought of the Lek and the Theory, because I actually have those two. I'd like to hear your thoughts on why you're getting rid of some of them. So you don't like the action. What do you mean by action? Action is a kind of a broad term. Do you not like the way they open, the way they close, the sound they make? What do you mean when you say action? Because I would have to, if somebody asked me the same question, I would have to think about it for a minute. You need some action, some satisfaction. I feel you there, Mister. I'm over here sorting a little bit of stuff. Pretty funny. All right. Still doing some cleaning. Oh, so deployment? Huh. All right. So the way a knife opens matters more to you. That's interesting. So I guess that would probably be due to detent most of the time then, huh? And acoustics. All right. That is perfectly acceptable. Robin, to answer your question, I've got them both. Let me see. Let me grab them both real quick. What are we looking for? The arc form and there's the Lek. You didn't ask about it. I love the way that my Lek sounds. I have not noticed the detent on it. Oh goodness, I've got something else I gotta tell y'all or show y'all or all the above. So yes, they do both have the little different kinds of thumb studs. There's two of them. Let's see. This Lek has really good detent, and my finger lands perfectly on the little. Well, it lands right there on the. Yeah, right on the middle when I hold it. And I like the sound it makes, so maybe I got a good one. I don't know, it makes a really good sound. Yeah. Oh. I'm a prime believer that you can get knives of any kind of tuning. The person before you could have liked it one way, and you might like it a different way. So this one has really good detent too. It pulls it in right there, like pretty tight. And thumb studs on it. I don't know. I like them both decently well enough to not put them in my for sale case. But I don't have as many choices as Mr. John does on nice knives. I've got to keep my nice ones. If you like this blade shape, then you might like it. Yeah, I know, Michael. Did you see me sit there and do one right after that with just my finger? I was doing that just for Nick. So I sat there and I checked it out without using any wrist. That's funny that Nick thought, I don't know. I just assumed that everybody knew there wasn't a knife I own that I can't open without wrist. Like, I would like to see one with the proper thumb stud that I couldn't reverse flick with no wrist. I just assumed that everybody could do that. Like Nick must, I don't know what knife he's got that like he can't get open without using wrist, but I don't think there's one I'll tell you what, one I would have the most trouble with right now in my whole collection would be this. I just saw it again last night. It made me remember it. But it's that Doc, that Recon, Doc, what's the last name that goes with this knife? Doc somebody Recon 3-inch. This knife right here has the most brutal detent of any knife that I've got. And it's the most plain built knife. It's just 2 slabs of titanium, a blade in the middle. Like, it's just so simple. Doc Schiffer. Yeah, thank you, Robin. I couldn't remember what the Doc's name was. But this knife right here, I don't know if you can see, but the detent ball is brutal in the hole, and I can still open it with no wrist. It has got brutal detent though, and I really want to get a 3.5. Actually, this knife right here is the knife that convinced me that I could make a folding knife because of how simple. I mean, there's no weight reduction milling. It's just 2 straight pieces. It looks like, I don't know, very minimal work was done to this titanium. And the fact that he uses that as a pivot screw lets me know, I don't know, that is the most plain, simple pivot you could possibly have. It's just the same as the screws. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying this knife made me think about a few things, but it's got brutal detent, and I can open it with no wrist. So I'm good with that one. Detent, yeah, you don't like the thumb studs. That's cool, John. What about the rain? What's wrong with the rain? Yeah, I need the 3.5. This one, it makes it, it's a 3.5 finger knife. It's a 3-finger knife. Morning, JD. Morning, Robin. Whoever I didn't say morning to, good morning, sirs. I think that's everybody. Yeah, what's wrong with the with the rain? Oh goodness, made a mess. Not really. I'm guessing the rain is too small for him. Maybe. That's shocking to me that getting rid of all of them. Very shocking. All right, so aha, so I'll love the rain. Let me buy the rain from you. Hook me up on a good deal on the rain. I did find, as I was doing more cleaning yesterday up under stuff, I finally found the other blank to that next fixed blade I want to make. And that's this one. This will come out of the same piece of metal that this one did. And I think it will complement. It'll go good with that one. That's what he's talking about, the Spidey flick, reverse flick. He said he can't get into Fuller good enough. But yeah, I think this is going to be the next one that I do personally. And who knows? It could already be heat treated. It might just appear one day. Let me go see if I can find the one Pete sent me. Give me just a second. I don't get on Instagram nearly enough. Oh yeah, I thought that was definitely, I saw that knife. I thought that was for you though. Definitely not my blade shape of choice. But it looks like a U knife for sure. I've mentioned the only affiliation I've ever had with anything Jason Grant or Gripper related. I don't know what a collab is, Pete. What do I have to do? Yeah, I don't get. Yeah, it's a gorgeous knife. So that Kaiser that I have is from Jason Grant, or Jason Grant used to own it. That one with the big Kaiser. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the big Kaiser used to be owned by Jason Grant. He's the one that got the anno done to it. And it kind of looks like his style. But this is that knife. Jason Grant used to own this knife, and he got this anno job done. But that looks like it doesn't look like the gripper. But it looks like his style. If I'm taking his style from that kind of knife. Gabe Owners. Let's see, who is that? Here's the post though. But Jason Grant is collaborating with North Mountain Blade to make that one. Yeah, it looks like one of the new Kunwus, doesn't it? Is that the Primo? See, I look right past those blade shapes. I'm sorry. I wish I didn't, but not the Gringo. What'd you say? The Kunwu what? Primo. Yeah, I don't know. I look right past them for some reason. That is not one of the Kunwus that I even consider, but the ends of them are quite different. His is more Strider-esque, straight line, opposite way. And the blade's a little shorter on the Primo. Yeah, I wonder what the Hammond. Yeah, I mean, I like the gripper is a very aggressive knife, and at one point I almost bought one, and it was right around the time that I settled in on the blade shape that I preferred. So, like, I had bought that Lek before I settled in on my blade shape of choice, and I had bought this one before I settled in on my blade shape of choice. And I got this one partly due to that story also, that it was the guy that owned it was the second owner and the first owner was Jason Grant. And I like Christensen knives. I had a Maverick at the time that I bought this one. I sold the Maverick because it was too small for me. But I ended up keeping this one. Yeah, I'm kind of getting burnt out or tired of the frag pattern also here lately. So I got a new knife yesterday in the mailbox. And that knife is a Juful clone. And I wanted to love everything about it because of how nice the Strix was that just came out. So, it is the new milled blade Lamia. As you can see the milling on the blade back there. Morning, Mitchell. And I got it in 9 days from ordering. So it's one of the fastest ones I've ever gotten. So we get this one released with the milling on the blade. Nice silver hardware, nice true blade grind, looks like the original. Nice micro milling on the handles. And I went to open it up, and the detent feels great. So the problem with his other batches of these, it had a real light detent. So the detent felt great. And then an opening, it felt great. It felt good closing, all that. And then I went to do a spine whack test. And that's when everything went south. So, this is what happened when I did the first spine whack of this knife. Well, let's see. I did this right here. Hold on. Let me get this full screen so y'all can appreciate it.
No good.
No good. No good. Let's watch that again. I opened it very aggressively with wrist.
No good.
Pete, so here's the real problem. The real problem is the lock bar insert is the lock bar insert is slanted the wrong direction. So let me show you something here. See if Reddit's fixed now. So, yes, down here, right here. Look at the angle. So the lock bar insert is slanting to the right side of this insert is higher than the left instead of the other way around. Wrong angle. So what I had to do to fix it, so I have since fixed it, but it doesn't change the fact that this is the way it came. I took it apart, and this is how I fixed it.
So the way I'm fixing it is I'm taking the lock bar insert and it needs to angle this way, so I'm just gently scraping it back and forth until I can see it wearing down that inside edge, so that it will slide over and make contact with the lock face. But that's all I'm doing, is just sliding it back and forth on my diamond stone until I see the line starting to form. Anyway, that should fix it. We will see.
And then this is after.
Well, the little grinding I did seemed to have fixed it. You can see it locks up a lot better now, and it's not failing anymore.
All right, so I did fix it, and here's the picture before. Here's the lockup before, and here's the lockup after. And you can see it's got 30% lockup now. So that's the way it is now, and that's the way it was before. Yeah, like that to like that, which is quite enough. It's enough difference to make it solid. But had I not done that, it would have really been unusable. And now it locks up good. It's got good 30%, 25, 30%, and it won't fail. I don't know why that happened, and I hope it sure didn't happen to all of them. I'm hoping I just got a bad one. But the detent on this is way better. So now that I fixed it, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more of an angle on there. But I've got it a lot better, and it will stay locked up now. And now the action is perfect. The detent's great. The close is great. The lockup works. But like I said, I'm hoping I got a bad one. But I have a feeling whoever cut this lock bar out, I think maybe they want them to cut, well, whoever set up this angle just had it wrong on the lock bar, because the lock bar itself is like slanted like this instead of to match the blade. TC, it's not, it doesn't fail, buddy. I can hit it as hard as I want to on this table. I'm not trying to damage my, it won't fail. I hit it on the same, it doesn't fail. Doesn't fail. But I think they got, whoever cut that lock bar cut the wrong angle. They had their machine. Yeah, there was not, those pictures are pretty clear about how much more lockup it has. I mean, you can see that's plenty compared to that. But anyway, if you need to fix your knives, don't be scared to, for sure. Oh, you just posted your mailbox check, Robin? Thank you, sir. Yeah, JD, it does feel good to fix something, especially when it's a knife like this that you've been looking forward to and you love everything else about it. I don't know, like, there's little bitty things. That's something I did pick up on Rob's Nerdy Knives last night, is that he likes doing mods to his knives. So it's super cool to see him doing mods. That is I love that blade shape. I love that ramp. I wish the ramp stopped a little closer back, but just, it might be shorter too. How short is that? Yeah, Pete. It did kind of, I mean, it didn't make me mad as much as I was just hoping that it was, I got a bad one. I was hoping the whole batch isn't like that. Yeah, that does look very nice. What is it? Oh, Davlis. I think you mentioned that one. I didn't ever have a problem with the lamias before, as far as the lockup, but I had it with the detent. The detent on the detent on both of these is pretty bad. I think I've got the same one micro milling the last two gens. One with the micro milling and one without. I got rid of all my first and second gen ones. I'm wondering if but this one has terrible detent. Like, it's super easy to open. It feels good. Let's see. Blade grind looks a little, yeah, it's got a less of an angle with the milling on the blade. It looks like they put it closer on this last gen, closer to the scales, but the original has more of a space like that, so they took it back a little bit. And then the micro milling makes a big difference. But yeah, the gap above it, right up here, and the length of the angle there, but looks a lot different. These are both 154 CMs, I believe. I think this, the other ones, they might have been D2 originally. I got rid of all the older ones. CKF Davlis. We looked at it the other day. I remember the name. That CK. Oh, there was another CKF that popped up on something. CKF Davlis. That I wanted to ask y'all if y'all had seen. Yeah, here's the one we saw on the link. I think I said I like the blade grind then. It almost looks more like a spear point in this picture than in the Discord. The Discord picture doesn't look as much of a spear point. Huh. Yeah, that's a sharp looking knife. They definitely do. How good do the transitions feel between the inlays and the scales? Does it have good tight tolerances? I like the clip too. Looks comfortable. Not real deep carry. Quite a bit of it sticking out though. Let me see if I can find that other CKF I was wanting to ask y'all about. Pretty sure the same guy that always posts the CKF picks in knives. That one guy that I showed that had a ton of them, I think I said probably worked there. Yeah, the Lex. What do y'all know about a Lex? because I like the looks of that. Do any of y'all know M398? I like the milling. I like the clip. I like the blade shape. Yeah, that was one I wanted us to look at. It's called the Lex. Maybe it's there. I want to know how big it is. Can we tell by the clip size, maybe? Yep. The clip's almost half the knife, so I bet it's only about 7.5 inches. I think it may be new. I don't know. Let's do a little digging. TC, you know anything about the CKF Lex? Sorry. Lex Rex Custom Knives. Here's something. Let's go see where this is a Russian website. Let's translate it. Alibi. Oh, put a piece of paper into the order that is a gift. I want a kitchen vegetable knife as gift to the order. Installments. All right, at least we got a total length. Yep, 200 millimeters. Dang it. Hey Google, what's 200 millimeters in inches?
200 millimeters is equal to 7.874 inches.
7.87. 7.87. So that's close. That's close to being okay. That's a pretty cool looking knife. Yeah, M398. The new version. Oh, there's a size. There you go. That guy looked like he had kind of beefy mitts. Got a bunch of pictures of it. $82.4 grams. And see, why do they have a cool website like this in Russian that has a lot better stuff where they can already buy it? It's probably a Russian scam site. What do you want to bet? Look, there are people who see in Lex the features of Laconico, Les George, Falkneve, a curve in Kanagawa, a blues blade, designer Culligan. Let's go look up Culligan Knives. Mike, it says Mike CKF Culligan. Huh, okay. So that's who designed it. The CKF guy. Oh, have a good day, John. Let's see. I like it though. I wonder. Let's see what that what does that convert to, TC? Money wise. Uh, what is this money symbol to begin with? Russian ruble. So what is 36,789 Russian ruble? Well, I didn't copy it. Whoops. $454.75. That's not bad. $454.75. Thank you, TC. $454. Not too bad on a price. I don't know about this site though. Bestblades.ru. Like, I've seen it listed, but what do y'all know about it? Have y'all? Is it a reputable site? Are there like vendors on it? How do you? I mean, I might could get somebody in the UK to like get one for me. I've never I mean, let's see. Do they still have like wow, I just thought of Babelfish. Does Babelfish still exist? Uh translate.google.com. Websites. Let's see what we got here. Translation didn't want to work right. There we go. At least it popped up right that time. All right, we needed to go from. How do you change? Why can't I change? All right, there we go. It's gonna be Russian to English. All right. Well, then it's not Russian. It's starts with a C. Cyrillic. Is it Cyrillic? Why can't I get the list to pop up again? Where's Cyrillic? Is Cyrillic spelled with a K? Is it Croatian? Yes. Oh, they changed that part. Maybe it is Croatian. It translated a bunch of this stuff. Wow. That's pretty cool. Took it a while. Knives by construction type. Russian knives, multi-purpose. Go to the Russian knives. I don't know. I guess it's doing it from the Google. Yeah, Russian Federation. This thing sucks. I don't know why it keeps picking Spanish. tactical knife, Damascus blade. We can read a little bit of it now. Huh. These are people, I guess. Or brands. Oh, it can't support this form. Well, alright then. Oh, Cyrillic is the alphabet? Yeah, I didn't know. How they would have it listed on there, I didn't know. Fuchs, you're not dead. Morning, buddy. Since you're here, you make me want to hit the like button. Go to original URL. Let's go check this guy out. There's some wild looking. Yeah, I need to get me a proxy. My daughter might be getting into like ordering some clothing and getting a middleman person set up to warehouse stuff. I like it though. We got started on that $455. Close some windows here. Yep. Gripper version 2. Oh, thank you, TC. Let's see. What else we're going to look at today? What's he been working on? They're cool looking little fixie. Like he has decent sized hands. 7-inch length. Huh. Looks better than my knife. That's for sure. I have to accept. I forgot. Really, Mitchell? That's a good idea, Mitchell. I might get involved with the Russian mafia then. Need to go start hanging out at the local Russian restaurant or Russian. I don't know if there's any markets. I don't think we have a Russian market anywhere. We have an international market, but there's the original one. Yeah, the Bratva. I almost bought one of those on Knife Swap. eBay is a wild place to buy knives. unless you buy from like stores that have websites, the prices are just all over the place. That's not the Rotva I was thinking of, though. Is it? Maybe it is. Let's see. I can't think of. I had one more thing, and I know I'm forgetting something. Let's see. What was it? Oh, I didn't see those pictures, Robin, that you posted of your J capes. Yeah, beautiful knives. I've got those two as well. Got you a nice CKF line up there too. Yeah, folks, I've heard decent things about them too. I thought you were talking about the knife. Since our buddy Sever works for, or has a knife design, Ketuo, or I don't know how they're connected, Reich, Ketuo. They're all connected. I thought you meant the knife. Let's see, what else popped up in the Discord? TC posted his flanks yesterday. I don't know what. I still couldn't find what I was talking about. Somebody said something bad about. I don't know if it was those knives. I don't know. I shouldn't have said anything. And Ed posting his two sons. Oh, that reminds me. I bought some lanyard stuff. And I went to look. And I had tons of paracord. Like, I didn't realize how much paracord I had. I've got quite a bit of paracord. And I wish Ed was here, or y'all probably know. I've got some really big paracord. Do y'all know what the really big paracord is? I've got some 550, but I've also got some other stuff that I don't know what it is. But I have tons of paracord. And I started trying to learn a new knot last night. And it's one of the ones you need kind of like a little... No, they make bigger they make different size paracords. They make a big paracord. This is 550, I guess. But I bought some beads and stuff. Yeah, I know rope, but I'm talking about formed like paracord with the outer coating and the inner strands. But I don't know what size it is. It's huge though. But I've got a ton of I got on a kick where I ordered a bunch of camping stuff. And I must have ordered a bunch back then when I was into camping. And like semi-prepping. I started working with this little piece, but then I gave up. Oh, it's all good. That's what y'all are supposed to do, is joke. Y'all couldn't be my friends if you didn't. I was always the class clown, so whenever you can joke, joke. Please. But yeah, I just didn't realize how much I actually had. It's a pretty cool knot though that I want to learn. But I bought some little like, I wanted to get something dark to match my Evo. And I got 5 of these. They're little black rhinestone. So they're like jeweled beads. And I thought they would look good with the shape of the CKF bead. And they would go good with the DLC. Morning, Tegan. So, yeah, I don't remember where I think I got these off of Amazon. But they're like black. They're darkened. I think they're brass little beads. Hey, mister, paracord can be used for all. You can build a house out of paracord and sticks. Paracord can come in very handy. But yeah, I think these will look good with the Evo. JD, what about neck knives? Because I got a couple laying over here still. Couple of little neck knives. I would even call this almost a neck knife. Like I said, I don't think I could deal with it swinging around underneath my shirt. Yeah, I don't know. They had different patterns of these little glass rhinestone looking beads, but I like the black on black. I think they'll look good. Now, I went looking through my paracord because I knew I had some stashed away in a backpack. I've got a backpack set up in the closet with all kinds of stuff in it, water purification, you know, like a bug out bag. And I remembered in one of the pockets I had a bunch of paracord. The knot that I want to focus on making that I thought was pretty cool is called AD beads for beauty. adbeadsstore.com. I don't know. Came off of Amazon. But I also got, I got this, I had this laying around too somewhere, but I'm not going to use it, but it's a little metal. I don't have many bead stuff. Little metal skull. Then I bought these other things and I'm not going to be able to use. Guess I'm going to return them. I didn't realize how small they were. But they're like beads for like beaded necklaces. They're separator things. But these were black too. And if they were bigger, I was going to combine these with these other ones. But these aren't big enough. I should have known when it said 1,000 that they weren't going to be big enough, but they were cool. If I could get these bigger in this black color. Yeah, beads can get ridiculously priced. Anyway, I'm going to return these. They weren't that expensive, but like $10 or something, but I could get another pack of these. And I don't know why they came with 5. Like, I wish they would have came with 6, because now I can't separate them in 2 little strands of a lanyard. Anyway, Mr. Ed has got me thinking about getting into some. Oh yeah, I didn't mention the knot that I want to learn how to make. All right, folks. See you later, buddy. Thanks for hopping in. The knot that I want to make is called a rattlesnake knot. And it's pretty dang cool. I want to find the video I actually watched. Let me just go to my history. Right here. Check out this knot. Pretty cool knot.
Hey guys, Mark here. Welcome. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to hand knit paracord. So in the past, I've shown you how to do this either with a knitting spool or using your fingers to get the same effect as using a couple of pegs. Today we're going to avoid any sort of a tool and we're just going to be using cord.
But it's a difficult knot. It's not difficult,
on top
but you just have to do it a bunch. But it turns into this here in a second. I'll show you what it looks like. Keep going, doing the same thing over and over again.
Exactly the same way.
And eventually you get
tighten up.
Getting to this right up here. He like jumps from it. Yeah, he jumps from right here to right here.
You can see me knitting in action to get the most consistent result possible. So,
he shows you how to tighten it up as you're doing it. But it makes a really cool pattern by the time you get done.
Get you a nice.
And then he finishes it off by pulling one through
like
right here.
This. Pulling
it tight.
And lock everything together. You may need to do a bit of adjusting, but for the most part, this is done. Now you can use this sort of knitting for dog leashes, bracelets, lanyards, all sorts of things. It takes a while to do, but it looks good and quite consistent. Guys, thank you for joining me in this quick tutorial. I hope that it comes in handy.
But that's a cool knot. Yeah, I've got those. I've got a fake one of those SOCPs. I've got both. I got two of them. Why do I have two of them? Do I have a folding one and a fixed blade? I know I've got the fixed blade, but do they make a folding one? I think I might have sold the folding one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ed talked about doing monkey fist, Mitchell. He showed us the little. We looked at ball bearings. So you can get all kinds of ball bearings, and you can get the little jig to make a monkey ball. We looked at it on Amazon. Today, Ed, monkey fist jig. You can get these little things that perfectly hold ball bearings of different sizes. Whoops. Sorry. They make these little jigs. Yeah, Ed showed us. He's got one of those things to make them with. One of these things. GIMP bracelets. Yeah, I do remember those actually. I don't know which SOCP. Seems like I've got the dagger Oh no, I don't have. What? Okay, I had this one, the SOCP folder, and I have this one. Yeah, I've got this size one. I think I've still got that one. And I think I sold the folding one. This one right here. Which one are y'all talking about? The dagger? This one? The full size dagger? I'm confused. What is SOPC? I know Greg Thompson, but what does that stand for? It stands for something. $173 BK. Oh, the mini? Yeah, I've got the big fixed blade. I got this one. And I don't like it. I don't know why anybody would like it. It's funky. Greg Thompson's weird though. So I'm glad y'all don't have that one and you got the dagger. There's a spear point. 177. Thank you, Michael. I knew some of you military folks would know what it stood for. What do we got here? Which one of y'all has the SOC suit? I could see Nick wearing one of those. Where is Nick? Nick, you got one of these? All right. What else they got? Oh, I know who's got one of these. That guy, the guy that used to come in the chat that made that cold steel video. Oh, I can't even think of his name. That's how insignificant he is. But he's probably got one of those helmets. Cold steels for the ladies. That's who I'm talking about. I bet we could I bet you could find the video just from that. Speaking of Nick, I got my ProTech with me. Oh, the daggers for training? I ain't never seen the suit either. I mean, I get it. People have to train and don't want to get hurt. So it makes sense. I just wondered which one of y'all had one. Any of y'all do any training of anybody? Any of y'all get into like Greg Thompson cutting wild stuff or doing knife training? Got any fake batons or? Yeah. Lone Star, Lady Boy or whatever. Lone Star Lady Boy. That's who it was. He's got one of the helmets. He holds his cold steels and does any appropriate stuff. Yep. No metal detectors. I mean, this one. Oh, this is a different. Why was I thinking? This is not who I thought it was. What is the other? Why am I was thinking of Lynn Thompson. My God. I was thinking of Lynn Thompson this whole time instead of Greg Thompson. I'm glad I looked it up because I was thinking maybe that's not the right Thompson. All right, yeah. I had the wrong Thompson in my head. I don't know why I put Benchmade and Lynn Thompson together. That's stupid. What a crazy guy. What a wild guy. He acts like he might quite possibly be in a knife fight every single day. I think he might have been in more knife fights than anyone in history. Just because when I picture him and the way he acts, I think he's in knife fights daily. See you later, Tegan. So I've got a video on my channel that none of y'all have ever seen or heard. It is a hidden video. It was back on my channel. It might involve a little bit of curse words. And I don't know, but for some reason, kind of want to play it this morning. It is not the normal video, and I don't agree or endorse the guy. Although, I kind of do. There's parts of it where I like, and parts of it, you know, a little too much for me. But I thought I might play it before we end the video today. Let me see if I can get it to pop up where it's supposed to. It's a long video, and like I said, it's a little different than what I normally do. That being said, see if I can get it brought up here. Well, my earbud disconnected for some reason. So now I had feedback for a second. See if I can get it reconnected. Put my other ear in. See if that works. Yep, that worked. All right. So let's listen to it for just a minute. See what he says. Take it for what it's worth. Like I said, I don't agree completely, but it is what it is.
Done. And I'm asking you folks to come out of it and be done with me. You want to make me out to be the evil bad guy rather than the hero of the story, as if they're not one and also separate? the Alpha and Omega all at once, paradoxically. Guess what? The crack is where the light enters. You raised me in darkness and hell. By the time I saw the light of truth, I was midway through my life. I could contend that from then on out, I've lived a faithful existence. But what's the difference? What I've done, it's about how I've been perceived, how they've made an enemy out of me, how I've been characterized as an outcast Sov-sit terrorist, while the sovereign citizens in uniform are terrorizing everyone. So I am a necessary evil to the system because I was raised in darkness and molded by it. And then at some point, I was shown the light and given an opportunity for redemption. You folks don't see the method to my madness or the method to God's madness, right? You don't see how it applies. Holly boy doesn't have the degree. He doesn't want to join the society and culture. He doesn't want to fit in and do what the rest of them do. Yeah, you're damn right I don't. And you should be thankful for people like me. Because if it wasn't for the minority of folks like me, just like your founders, you'd already be deeply in fucking genocide slavery. Some instinct, intuition inside of me from day one has kept me away from these people and kept them away from me. Right? And while when they do get near me, they judge me and condemn me and punish me, I can't be more thankful and grateful because I see why. This is the walking, living dead on all levels. This is who's meant to be chewed up and spit out by the Luciferian beast system. So yeah, we have our moments of doubt during persecution and prosecution, but upon introspection and reflection, we realize this is exactly what God formed us to do and be. I wouldn't have it any other way. So you better start searching for the thing inside of you that's inside of me that calls us all back to what we need to be doing rather than what we want to be doing, ignoring the important stuff. I'm really convinced that over the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to see economic downturn. We're going to see a Greater Depression 2.0. We're going to see a huge shift in power and value and resources. You'll see what I'm talking about at some point. Go look at the inflation. Go look at the same cart you had 4 years ago with the same items in it online. It's tripled. And they don't understand where we're at and what it all means. If folks do not get on record now with the common law and universal law and rights and freedom and principles and throw themselves on the gears of the system, I believe you're going to see fascism, collectivism, and genocide and the likes you have never seen it before. With all this technology and everything that's set up and how interconnected it is and how duped out and gullible and naive and powerless the majority are, I think you're going to see a worldwide event that's not going to be forgotten. The Third Reich essentially was a medical tyranny run amok, taking people, putting them away, doing experiments on them. You guys are addicted to the dopamine rush of doing slavery every day and having domination and control over your fellow man, and it's fucking pathetic.
We are marshaling the full power of the federal government to protect the American people.
You folks have lost your minds, and you think I'm the crazy one. I'm checking everybody in this motherfucker day in and day out. I will speak the judgment and condemnation the force of creation is bringing down on all your goofy asses. And no, I don't like doing it, but it's what I'm here to do. So all the better. You want to make an enemy out of me for bringing that message? Good luck. When you see it manifest in physical form, you know I was speaking the fucking truth. That's how that works.
So there you go. So that video has been on my page since before I was a knife channel. And if you don't know who that is, you can probably find him. He's around. He's got a very loud voice. And he sticks to his guns and he believes in natural law. And that we were given certain rights when we were born, and that those rights should not be trampled upon. And that's kind of what he stands on. Like I said, it's not my normal thing, nor do we usually discuss stuff like that. But I thought I would share, give you a little introspective and make you think. That video is kind of old, but it's fitting still. So it's kind of wild how crazy our times are getting. Every generation, there's always the same stuff going on and the same talks of getting close to the end, but I don't know. It is getting pretty wild nowadays. It's a topic I don't mind talking about, but I just, I was always taught as a kid that you don't talk politics and religion with friends, especially if you might disagree on them. And I have no problem with being friends with people that I disagree with. That's what makes this world great. I don't like being in an echo chamber necessarily. I like to hear all kinds of thoughts and views. All right, Michael. Mister, did you hear Elon on Joe Rogan talking about the Roadster and how he was thinking about premiering it before December, like within 2 months? Pretty wild. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if any of y'all watched the last Rogan where he had Elon on a few days ago. If you didn't, I invite you to go check that out. Yeah, it is pretty wild, mister, what's going on in our society. You know, I'm not sure, but Peter Thiel might scare me more than anybody as of late. I think I like Palantir too much. You can usually look at the UK, kind of see what it'll be like here in 10 years. Maybe 15 years. I'd like to think 15 years, but it's probably more like 5 years. But the state of they've gotten into with their Big Brother policies and locking people up for Facebook posts. I don't know how many thousands of people have been locked up for Facebook posts, but when you start doing stuff like that, the Big Brother stuff scares me. And Palantir seems like Big Brother 2.0. But it's for all y'all's safety. Just give us what we need to make the world a safer place. Don't be scared. Let Palantir help. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to start winding this one down. Yeah, I like it with the curls down, TC. I like it where the little curls face down. It looks like a Western, more of Western style. I knew, however I put it, you would say it was upside down. Somehow. You can have it either way. Yeah, I looked at it before the stream even started and thought about the curls, and I like them going down instead of up. Robin, have a good day, sir. Thanks for hanging out and talking knives. Hope y'all have a great day for Titanium Tuesday. Carry something titanium. I'm probably going to put this back in the pocket. Thank you, TC. Have a good one. Mitchell, thank you, sir. I've got to start getting this room arranged like I want it now. So anyway, I'm going to be working on that today and tomorrow. Hopefully get that finished up. And hope y'all have a good day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. If your knives don't work, fix them. Make them lock up. Fix that. Lock up. Anyway, guys, love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.